Dark Elves Chosen, Season 2, Episode 11, by Celeste King.
Previously on Dark Elves Chosen.
The prophecy was wrong, or was it?
I never meant to fall in love with you.
The final battle is upon us.
Choose wisely, for the fate of both worlds hangs in the balance.
You know the drill. If you're eager to get the spice that YouTube won't allow, go to worldsofprothika.com.
Secure the entire Dark Elves Chosen collection and double down on discounts with code YouTube30.
Like, comment, and subscribe to support the continuation of these free full audiobooks.
You're tuned into Season 2, Episode 11 of Celeste King's Dark Elves Chosen.
Chapter 71. Julius. The pain intensifies and I can barely see through the tears blurring my vision. My mother's face appears above me, her expression stern but filled with worry. Savannah, you need to breathe. Focus on my voice. Ronica stands beside her, eyes closed and hands glowing with a soft light as she chants something under her breath. The other Purna move around the room, preparing herbs and water, their movements swift and efficient. Julius clutches my hand tightly, his face a mask of determination and fear. I'm not leaving, he insists, glaring at anyone who dares to suggest otherwise. You can't be here, one of the Purna says firmly, trying to usher him out. This is Purna business. Julius's eyes flash with anger. She's my mate. I'm not going anywhere. My mother places a calming hand on the Purna's arm. Let him stay, she says quietly. He has as much right to be here as any of us. The tension in the room is palpable as everyone prepares for what's to come. I focus on Julius's face, drawing strength from his presence. His grip on my hand tightens every time a contraction hits, grounding me through the waves of pain. Ronica's chanting grows louder, and I feel a strange warmth spread through my body, dulling the edges of the agony. You're doing great, she whispers, her voice soothing and full of encouragement. I grit my teeth and nod, trying to keep my breathing steady as another contraction rips through me. The room seems to blur around me, the faces of my loved ones blending into a swirl of colors and sounds. The room buzzes with an energy all its own. Various magical instruments and herbs surround us, their potent scents mingling in the air. Incense burners release fragrant wisps of smoke, calming and earthy, while glowing crystals hum softly on the tables, casting a gentle light. Ronika's chanting weaves through the air, and I catch glimpses of her carefully arranged tools. Polished stones for grounding, shimmering vials of potions, and intricate talismans designed to channel and stabilize my magic. A Purna with dark, curly hair waves her hands over a bowl of water, murmuring incantations that make the surface ripple with light. Savannah, my mother's voice breaks through the haze. These herbs will help manage your magic. She holds up a bundle of dried leaves and flowers, their colors vivid even in the dim light. I nod weakly, trying to focus on her words. What are they? Dried blue frost for the nausea and pain, Filvec for healing, she explains, and a few others for balance. She places the bundle near my head, the soothing aroma enveloping me like a warm blanket. Julius shifts beside me, his eyes never leaving my face. Is it helping? He asks softly. A little, I manage to say between breaths. The contractions are relentless, but the herb's calming effects seep into my senses, taking the edge off the pain. Ronica steps forward with a small vial of glowing liquid. Drink this, she instructs gently. It will help stabilize your magic during the birth. I take the vial from her trembling hands and drink it down. A cool sensation spreads through my chest, easing some of the tension in my muscles. The room's chaotic energy begins to feel more controlled, more manageable. Good, Ronica says approvingly. Now focus on your breathing. My mother places her hands on my shoulders, her touch firm yet comforting. You're doing great, Savannah, she says again. We're almost there. Julius tightens his grip on my hand, His eyes are fierce with determination and love. "I'm here," he whispers again. The contractions come hard and fast, each one more intense than the last. My magic flares uncontrollably, sending sparks and bursts of energy into the air. I see the Purna around me tense, their eyes widening as they work to contain the chaos. "Focus, Savannah." My mother's voice cuts through the din, calm but urgent. "You must control it." "I'm trying," I gasp. But another wave of pain hits, and my magic explodes outward in a blinding flash. Ronica raises her hands, a shimmering barrier forming around me and the baby. The energy collides with her shield, sending ripples through the air. "We need more support!" she calls out to the other Purna. They gather around us, their faces set with determination. Each one channels their power into Ranika's barrier, strengthening it against the volatile bursts. The room glows with an eerie light as their combined magic creates a protective cocoon. Julius's grip on my hand tightens. "You're doing great, Savannah. Just hold on a little longer." Another contraction racks my body, and this time I can't hold back the scream that escapes my lips. The energy inside me surges, wild and uncontrollable. It feels like I'm being torn apart from the inside out. The Purna around me chant in unison, their voices weaving together in a powerful spell. The barrier flickers but holds strong against the onslaught of my magic. My mother steps closer, her hands glowing as she adds her strength to the shield. "You're almost there," she says, her voice steady despite the strain in her eyes. "Just a little more." I nod weakly, trying to focus on her words instead of the pain. Julius leans in close, his presence grounding me even as everything else spirals out of control. Another explosion of magic rocks the room, but this time it's met with an equally powerful force from the Purna's barrier. The energy dissipates harmlessly into the air, leaving only a faint shimmer behind. Ronica's chanting grows louder, more insistent. "We've got you," she says firmly. "We won't let anything happen to you or the baby." Despite their efforts, it's clear that the magic is draining my life force at an alarming rate. Every contraction sends another burst of energy out, and I can feel myself growing weaker with each one. My vision blurs, and I struggle to keep my eyes open, to stay present. Julius's face swims into focus, his expression a mix of determination and fear. "Stay with me, Savannah," he urges, his voice cracking. "We're almost there." I try to nod, but even that small movement feels like too much. My mother's voice is steady and calm, but I can hear the underlying worry. "Ronica, we need to stabilize her magic now." Ronica nods, her chanting growing louder and more urgent. The barrier around me flickers and pulses with energy, but I can feel it weakening along with me. The other Purna add their strength to the shield, their faces set with determination. "I can't." The words barely make it past my lips. The room tilts, and darkness edges into my vision. "No!" Julius's grip tightens on my hand, his eyes blazing with a fierce determination that matches the fire in his soul. "Don't you dare give up now!" His voice is a command, a lifeline pulling me back from the edge of the abyss. I can feel his power surging through his fingertips, a relentless force that refuses to let me go. Ronica steps closer, her eyes locked on mine. "Savannah, focus on me. We need you to hold on." I take a shaky breath, trying to draw strength from her words, from Julius's unwavering presence beside me. But the pain is overwhelming, and the magic inside me feels like it's tearing me apart. "Julius." My voice is barely a whisper. "I'm so tired." "I know," he whispers back, his eyes glistening with unshed tears. "But you have to stay strong. For us. For our baby." The reminder of our child gives me a sliver of strength. I grit my teeth and try to focus on my breathing, on the faces around me filled with hope and determination. My mother places a cool hand on my forehead. "We're almost there, Savannah," she says softly. I nod weakly, feeling another wave of pain crash over me. The room blurs again, but I cling to the sound of their voices, to the feel of Julius's hand in mine. Ronika's chanting reaches a crescendo, and for a moment the pain eases slightly. But then it returns with a vengeance, and I can feel the last of my strength slipping away. The room spins around me as another explosion of magic erupts from within me. This time, it feels like it's taking part of my soul with it. "I can't hold on much longer," I whisper. "We won't let you go," Julius promises fiercely. I want to believe him, but as the darkness closes in again, I'm not sure how much more I can take. Rosenfire, our family holds great weight and power in Orthani, and yet I hear whispers.
Do you think he can take him?
There is no way that this could happen.
No, more books. I can't remain locked in this ivory tower a moment longer.
She's perfect. The Baron's daughter must be found.
Julius, we shouldn't.
Why shouldn't we?
I am not a full dark elf. I do not possess their ethereal beauty. How will I find a mate?
The lowly Baron's son apparently has shown that he has the same gift of fire-wielding as I, if not stronger.
I am the family's dirty little secret. I am not the future of the family. Dukan is.
This world was created from a seed of evil.
I propose we take Dukan out of the picture, permanently.
Please, let me go.
If you want to join the poor humans who are bought and sold in the markets on a daily basis, you will find a way to get there.
I am free, and I am terrified.
You will never escape me.
I can try.
You will fail. Get seasons 1 and 2 of the Dark Elf series from worldsofprothika.com.
Prothika's magic is eternal. This series will show you why.
Chapter 72. Julius. Savannah screams, her voice raw and filled with pain. I clutch her hand, feeling the life force drain from her with each contraction. Sweat beads on her forehead, mingling with the tears that streak down her cheeks. "You're incredible," I manage to utter, my voice trembling despite my efforts to stay calm. "We're nearly there." She squeezes my hand weakly, her eyes meeting mine for a fleeting moment, before another wave of pain overtakes her. The room buzzes with frantic energy. Her mother chants an incantation under her breath, hands glowing as she tries to contain the wild magic bursting from Savannah. "I can't," Savannah gasps, arching her back as another contraction seizes her. "You can," I insist, though my heart pounds with fear. "You have to." Ronika hovers nearby, ready with more herbs and potions. Her eyes meet mine briefly, filled with worry but also determination. The magic in the room is almost suffocating, thick and unpredictable. It crackles in the air, making the hair on my arms stand on end. Every time Savannah cries out, a burst of energy erupts from her, threatening to engulf us all. "Hold on," I whisper, leaning close to her ear. "Just hold on." Savannah's grip on my hand loosens, and I panic. "Stay with me," I plead. She blinks slowly, exhaustion etched into every line of her face. "I'm trying," she whispers back, voice barely audible. Her mother moves closer, placing a hand on Savannah's swollen belly. A soft glow emanates from her palm, attempting to soothe the turmoil within. "The baby. It's almost here," she says through gritted teeth. I nod, swallowing hard. "You hear that? Almost there." Savannah's breath comes in ragged gasps now, each one more labored than the last. Her strength is fading fast. My own magic pulses weakly within me. I want nothing more than to channel it into her, to give her some of my energy. "Please," I murmur. "Let them be okay." Another contraction hits, and Savannah's scream pierces through me like a blade. Her body shakes violently as the magic flares up again. "Focus!" her mother commands sharply. "Keep it together." Savannah nods weakly but looks at me with eyes filled with despair. "You've got this," I say again, though it feels like I'm trying to convince myself as much as her. The moments stretch on endlessly as we hover between hope and despair. Each second feels like an eternity as I watch the woman I love fight for both their lives. Savannah's mom, focused on ensuring the baby's safe delivery, pays little attention to my growing panic. She presses her glowing hands to Savannah's belly, chanting with an intensity that makes the air hum. Each syllable vibrates through the room, mixing with the crackling magic and my racing heartbeat. Savannah's screams cut through the rhythmic chant, her body convulsing as another contraction hits. Her grip on my hand weakens further, fingers slipping through mine like sand. I squeeze tighter, desperate to hold on to her. "Please, stay with me," I whisper again, voice cracking. The fear gnaws at my insides, threatening to consume me. Her mother's face remains a mask of concentration. She doesn't look up, doesn't acknowledge my terror. All that matters to her is the baby's safe arrival. The incantation grows louder, a steady pulse of words that seem to weave a protective cocoon around Savannah. Ronica moves closer with another potion, her hands shaking as she uncorks it and holds it to Savannah's lips. "Drink this," she urges gently. Savannah swallows with difficulty, eyes fluttering closed for a moment. I look around the room, feeling utterly helpless. The wild magic lashes out again, sending sparks flying and rattling the windows. It's a chaotic dance of energy that none of us can fully control. "Can't you do something, damn it?" I shout at Savannah's mom, my voice breaking through her chant. She finally glances at me, eyes fierce and unwavering. "I'm doing everything I can." Her words offer no comfort. I feel my own magic stir within me, weak and flickering like a dying flame. If only I could give it all to her. My strength, my power, anything to ease her suffering. "Hold on," I whisper again, voice trembling. "We need you." Savannah's eyes meet mine once more, filled with pain but also a glimmer of determination. She nods weakly, gripping my hand as another contraction racks her body. The room feels like it's closing in on us, the weight of magic and fear pressing down from all sides. Each moment stretches into eternity as we hover between hope and despair. The sound of Savannah's cries mingles with the chanting and crackling energy, a symphony of desperation and resolve. Through it all, I cling to her hand, praying for a miracle. "Almost there," I murmur again, more to myself than anyone else. The world narrows down to this moment, this battle for life amidst chaos and magic. Finally, Savannah gives birth to a beautiful baby girl. The room falls silent as the first cries of our child pierce the air, mingling with the crackling energy still swirling around us. Relief floods through me, but it's short-lived. Savannah lies motionless, her chest barely rising and falling. Her strength is completely drained, and her hand slips from mine, limp and lifeless. Panic claws at my throat, and when I look up, Ronica is no longer standing there. In fact, no one is at Savannah's side with me or even looking at us. "She's not moving!" I shout, my voice cracking. "Do something!" But Alora is still focused on the bundle in her arms. I want to charge forward, to wrench her away, but I won't leave Savannah's side. I can't understand why her mother would act like this. Unless the baby is what she wanted the whole time. I can't think about that now. I have to find a way to save my mate. "Please," I whisper, feeling helpless. "Don't leave me." The baby's cries grow louder, a tiny yet powerful reminder of what's at stake. Laura turns to where I can't even see my baby, and I'm torn. I need to save them both, and I don't know what to do. "Is she—" I can't finish the question. The words stick in my throat like shards of glass. Savannah's skin is pale, almost translucent under the harsh glow of magic. Her eyes remain closed, and I can't tell if she's even breathing. "Savannah!" I call out, gripping her hand tighter. "Our daughter needs you. I need you." The glow from her mother's hands shifts to a deeper shade of blue, casting eerie shadows on the walls. The air feels thick with magic and desperation. Come on, I plead once more. Fight. Elora continues her incantation, the glow from her hands pulsating in a desperate rhythm. I watch, helpless, torn between the joy of our daughter's first cries and the horror that Savannah might be slipping away. The baby's wails cut through the tension, a stark contrast to the stillness that has overtaken Savannah. Stay with us, I whisper again, my voice cracking under the weight of my fear. Please, Savannah. But Savannah's pale face and limp body fill me with dread. I squeeze her hand tighter, willing my strength into her. The minutes stretch on, each one an eternity. My mind races with memories of our time together. Our first meeting, our travels, the way she smiles at me when she thinks I'm not looking. The thought of losing her now, after everything we've been through, is unbearable. Come on, I murmur again, voice trembling. You fought so hard, don't give up now. But still my mate does not move.
Chapter 73. Savannah. I jolt awake, the cold seeping into my bones. My eyes snap open to utter darkness. Water laps at my feet, icy and unwelcoming. I sit up, shivering, trying to make sense of my surroundings. The air smells damp, heavy with decay. A faint, eerie glow illuminates the place, casting long shadows on the tunnel walls. A river flows through it, dark and sluggish. I feel a chill run down my spine as I look around, heart pounding. Where am I? I whisper to myself, voice echoing off the wet stone. I struggle to my feet, water sloshing around my ankles. The tunnel stretches endlessly in both directions. I have no memory of how I got here or why. Julius? I call out, hoping for a response, but only silence answers me. The water ripples, disturbed by something unseen. My instincts scream at me to move. I start walking along the riverbank, the rough stone underfoot offering little comfort. Each step sends a jolt of cold through me. Stay calm, I mutter, though panic gnaws at my insides. You need to stay calm. The tunnel walls close in on me as I walk deeper into the darkness. The glow grows stronger but does nothing to warm the chill in the air or ease my growing unease. A whisper of movement catches my attention. Shadows dance at the edges of my vision. My heart races faster. Is anyone there? My voice trembles. No answer comes, just the continuous flow of water and the echo of my footsteps. The eerie glow reveals more details as I continue forward. Twisted roots hanging from the ceiling like gnarled fingers reaching for me. Strange symbols etched into the stone walls that pulse with a faint light. I brush my fingers against one of the symbols. It feels warm despite everything else being cold and uninviting. An image flashes through my mind. Julius's face contorted in pain. His hands glowing faintly as he tries to reach for me. I yank my hand back as if burned, heart hammering in my chest. Focus, I tell myself again. Find a way out. But deep down, a part of me wonders if there is an escape from this place, or if I'm doomed to wander this dark tunnel forever. I push forward, determined to find answers, or at least a way back to Julius and our baby girl. Someone, anyone, please tell me, where am I? My voice echoes back at me, a haunting reminder that I am alone. Or so I think. Not alone, a soothing voice corrects. I whirl around, my heart leaping into my throat. There, standing on a raised stone platform above the water, is a figure of impossible grace. Her storm-cloud grey skin glows with an ethereal light, hair like liquid midnight cascading over her shoulders. The guide. No, I whisper, backing away and stumbling over a submerged rock. This isn't real. It can't be. She tilts her head, eyes as deep as the sea studying me with calm amusement. Real enough, she says, stepping closer without disturbing the water's surface. You've crossed into my domain, Savannah. No, I gasp, shaking my head. No, no, no. My heart races, pounding against my ribcage like it wants to break free. The guide's presence can only mean one thing. I've died. Calm down, Savannah, the guide says, her voice like a balm, but it does nothing to soothe the panic clawing at me. I can't be dead. Julius, our baby. I can't leave them. My voice cracks as I back away, stumbling over the submerged rocks and nearly falling into the dark water. Cold tendrils of fear wrap around me, tighter and tighter. This can't be happening. The guide steps closer, her ethereal light reflecting off the water's surface. You are not dead, she repeats, but her words feel distant, unable to penetrate the haze of terror clouding my mind. Then why am I here? Why are you here? I demand, my breath coming in ragged gasps. The cold seeps deeper into my bones, mingling with the icy dread. You've touched death's realm many times, she says softly. Your magic flares with life and death intertwined. I clutch at my chest, where my heart feels like it's being squeezed in a vice. I didn't ask for this. I just want to go back to Julius, to my baby. Her expression softens with an understanding that seems to pierce through every defense I've built around my heart. And you will, she assures me. She extends her hand toward me, fingers outstretched like an offering of solace. But first, you must understand what you carry within you. Come, she says softly. Let me show you. My breath hitches as I look into those dark, navy eyes, seeing worlds and lifetimes reflected there. With trembling steps, I wade through the water toward her. The guide's fingers are cool against my palm as she leads me across the water's surface, her steps silent and assured. We reach the stone platform, and she gestures for me to sit. The stone is surprisingly warm, a stark contrast to the icy water below. You must understand, she begins, her voice echoing softly through the cavern. This was not supposed to be your time to die. Then why am I here? I ask, my voice trembling. Why did I almost... You were close, she acknowledges with a nod. But your thread of life has not yet been severed. I shiver, not from cold but from the weight of her words. My baby. Will she be all right? The guide's eyes soften, and for a moment I see a flicker of warmth in their depths. Your baby girl still needs you, she says gently. She is tied to you in ways even I cannot fully explain. I wrap my arms around myself, trying to contain the flood of emotions threatening to spill over. I don't understand. If I'm not supposed to die, why am I here? Sometimes, the guide says cryptically, we are brought to the brink to learn what we would otherwise never know. She places a hand on my shoulder, a gesture both comforting and commanding. You can wait here until it is time to return to the mortal world. I swallow hard, nodding, even though confusion still clouds my mind. How long will that be? Time flows differently in this realm, she replies enigmatically. What feels like hours here may be mere moments there. The thought is both comforting and disorienting. I glance back at the tunnel, its darkness an unknown path stretching before me. What am I supposed to do while I wait? The guide smiles faintly, her expression one of serene patience. Rest, reflect. Your journey has been long and arduous. I nod again, feeling a strange sense of calm settle over me. Despite the uncertainty, despite the fear gnawing at the edges of my mind, there's a part of me that trusts her words. I'll wait, I say quietly. The guide squeezes my shoulder gently before releasing me. Good, she murmurs. When it is time, you will know. Confusion and anxiety twist inside me like a serpent. I can't just sit here and wait, I murmur, my voice shaky. Julius needs me. My baby needs me. The guide's eyes, which had been so full of life and understanding, suddenly glaze over, turning an eerie, opaque white. A shiver runs down my spine as I stare at her. "What's happening?" I ask, my voice rising with panic. "Are you all right?" No response. The guide stands still as a statue, her ethereal glow dimming. I take a step closer, reaching out a tentative hand but hesitating just before touching her. "Please," I plead, desperation creeping into my tone. "I need answers. I need to know if they'll be okay." The cavern around us seems to grow colder, the shadows deepening. The guide's expression remains frozen, her once vibrant eyes now blank and unseeing. My mind races with questions and fears. What if I'm trapped here forever? What if something happens to Julius or the baby while I'm stuck in this limbo? "Guide!" I call out louder this time, hoping to break through whatever trance she's in. But it's like shouting into a void. My words echo back at me without effect. I clutch at the pendant around my neck, a gift from Julius, feeling its warmth against my skin. It's a small comfort in this surreal nightmare. "Please," I whisper again, more to myself than to her. "I can't lose them." There isn't much left of the world after the orcs came.
Savage. Brutal. Merciless.
If you're a woman, you're property. Even to other humans.
What happens when an orc stakes his claim on a human woman? Who would dare to stop him?
Me.
Chapter 74. Julius. The room buzzes with a frantic energy, everyone moving around me, but no one is rushing to Savannah. Savannah lies on the bed, her face pale, almost translucent. Her chest barely rises and falls. I grip her hand, feeling the coolness of her skin, and panic twists in my gut. "Stay with me," I whisper, my voice raw. Ronica, re-entering the room and noticing Savannah's state, gasps and rushes to her side. She pushes me gently but firmly aside, her eyes wide with determination and fear. "We need to act fast," she says, her voice steady despite the urgency. The air is charged with an eerie electric energy as Ronica starts to chant a spell, her words weaving a desperate melody that cuts through the air. The scent of burnt herbs and sweat fills my nostrils, almost overpowering in its intensity. Magic swirls around us, thick and heavy, like a living thing with a will of its own. I cling to Savannah, my arms wrapped tightly around her limp form, willing her to wake up, to give me some sign of life. Ronica's voice rises and falls in a haunting rhythm, her hands tracing intricate patterns in the air. Each gesture sends shimmering waves of magic cascading around us, but they seem to dissipate before they reach Savannah. Panic claws at my chest. I can feel my own magic, a fiery heat that pulses just beneath my skin, begging to be released. I close my eyes, focusing on that inner flame, and channel it into Savannah. My hands glow with a warm golden light as I press them to her cold skin. "Come on, Savannah, feel this," I whisper, my voice cracking. The warmth spreads from my hands, seeping into her, but she remains still, her breathing shallow and ragged. The night seems to hold its breath, the usual sounds of the forest muted by the oppressive weight of our magic. Ronica's chanting grows louder, more insistent, and the air around us hums with power. I can see the strain on her face, the sweat glistening on her brow, but she doesn't falter. It's not working, I mutter, my throat tight. Ronika glances at me, her face etched with concern. We're doing all we can. We need to do more. That's enough. You're scaring the baby, Elora snaps. The baby cries in the background, a stark reminder of what's at stake. My heart aches with each wail. She needs her mother. My eyes keep darting to Savannah's mother. She's cradling the baby, whispering soothing words, her attention entirely on the infant. It infuriates me. She's dying, I shout, unable to contain my rage any longer. Savannah is dying, and you're worried about the baby. Her mother looks up, her expression serene and almost detached. The baby needs care too, Julius. Not at the expense of her mother, I snap back. Do you not see what's happening? Ronika intervenes, placing a calming hand on my arm. Stay calm, she urges. I try to concentrate, but every time I glance at Savannah's mother, my anger flares anew. How can she be so calm, so indifferent? The baby's cries mix with the chants, creating a cacophony that frays my nerves. Savannah's mom continues to rock the baby gently. The baby's magic is powerful. It needs to be stabilized. And what about Savannah? My voice breaks. Doesn't she need to be stabilized too? Her mother finally meets my gaze, her eyes unreadable. We are doing what we can for her, she says softly but firmly. Her words hit me like a punch to the gut. She's right, but it doesn't make it any easier to watch Savannah slip away while her mother tends to the child. My eyes fall to the artifact on my arm, its runes pulsing with a faint glow. It saved me. Maybe it can save her too. I glance at Savannah's pale face, her breaths shallow and weak. The desperation claws at me, urging me to do something. Anything to save her. My fingers twitch toward the artifact, ready to rip it off and place it on Savannah. But a voice interrupts my frantic thoughts. Don't even think about it. I look up to see Razdan standing in the doorway, his eyes fierce and unwavering. He strides over, placing a firm hand on my shoulder. Removing the artifact will kill you, he says, his voice low but insistent. I don't care, I snap back. If it can save her, it won't. Razdan cuts me off, his grip tightening. The artifact is bound to you now. Removing it will destroy both of you. The weight of his words sinks in, and my hand drops back to my side. The artifact hums softly against my skin, a reminder of the tenuous balance holding my life together. She's all I have, I whisper, my voice cracking. Razdan's expression softens slightly, but his resolve remains firm. And you're all she has. You can't help her if you're dead. I look back at Savannah, her face still so heartbreakingly still. The room seems to close in around me, the weight of helplessness crushing my chest. Trust Ronika, Razdan says gently. She knows what she's doing. I nod numbly, forcing myself to focus on the ritual once more. Ronika's chants fill the air, and I channel every bit of strength I have into forming the soul bond. Stay with me, I whisper again, hoping that somehow she can hear me through the haze of magic and pain. Razdan stays by my side, his presence a grounding force amidst the chaos. The seconds stretch into an eternity as we fight to keep Savannah tethered to this world. As I focus on Savannah, her breaths shallow and weak, Razdan's grip on my shoulder tightens. There might be another way, he says, voice low but steady. I turn to him, desperation etched in every line of my face. What do you mean? Razdan's green eyes meet mine with a rare seriousness. There's a ritual, one that doesn't require you to remove the artifact. Why didn't you mention this before? My voice trembles with a mix of hope and frustration. It's dangerous, Razdan admits. I look at Savannah's pale face, her life slipping away with each passing second. I'll do it, whatever it takes.
From the depths of the darkness of Prathika,
Or clawing up from the realms of fantasy,
come the most fearsome beasts you have ever seen.
These monsters are done watching from the shadows.
Now, as they step into the light, something unexpected grips them.
Something even they can't fight off.
Love.
Vampires.
Demons.
Dark elves.
Gods.
Minotaurs. Creatures of light and dark.
They will protect their mates.
Do whatever needs to be done.
Morally grey heroes who will burn the world to protect the women who love them.
10 audiobooks.
Fall into over 60 hours of fantasy romance.
20 ebooks.
Over 1 million words of these brutes who will protect their women.
Even if they might destroy themselves in the process.
Get the immersive Prothika Fantasy Romance Bundle.
For 80% off, right now, dive into Prothika at a once-in-a-lifetime discount.
The first bundle to offer both ebooks and audiobooks on worldsofprothika.com. Prothika's magic is eternal, and this romantasy bundle will make it endless.
Chapter 75. Julius. We need a stronger connection, Rastin says, eyes meeting mine with intensity. Something deeper than magic alone. What do you mean? My mind races to understand. A soul bond, Rastin replies quietly, but it's risky. I swallow hard, the weight of her words sinking in. A soul bond could save Savannah or destroy us both. The room seems to close in around me as I consider the implications. Do it, I say finally, my voice steady despite the fear gnawing at me. Whatever it takes. There's more to it, Rastin says, his voice a steady anchor in the chaos. You have to form a soul bond with Savannah. It's the only way to channel the artifact's magic into her without overwhelming her system. And this could work? I ask, my throat tight with both fear and hope. Yes, Rastin nods. It's an ancient ritual that links your life forces together. It will allow you to control the flow of magic and share your strength with her. How do I do it? My voice trembles despite my best efforts to stay calm. You need to focus on your deepest connection with her, Rastin instructs. Think about your love, your shared moments, your baby, everything that binds you two together. The artifact will amplify this connection and channel the energy into her. I close my eyes, taking a deep breath as I think about Savannah. The way her laughter lights up a room, the feel of her hand in mine, the warmth of her embrace. I let these memories wash over me, filling me with a fierce determination. Feel the bond, and once you do, let it guide you, Rastin murmurs. I picture Savannah's face, her eyes filled with love and trust. The artifact hums against my skin, its energy flowing through me like a river. I focus on this bond, letting it grow stronger until I can almost see it, a shimmering thread connecting our souls. Now, Rastin says, his voice low but commanding. Channel the magic through the bond. My hands tremble as I look down at Savannah, her face so pale it looks like carved marble. The thought of losing her is a knife twisting in my chest. I take a deep breath and close my eyes, trying to steady myself. The artifact on my arm pulses with a warm, rhythmic glow, syncing with my heartbeat. I focus on that warmth, letting it spread through me. I picture the bond between Savannah and me, an invisible thread connecting our souls. I pour every ounce of my love, my desperation, into that thread, willing it to grow stronger. Like that, Rastin murmurs beside me. Keep going. The warmth from the artifact intensifies, flowing from my arm into Savannah. I can feel the energy transferring, a tingling sensation that spreads from my fingertips to her chest. Her breathing becomes less labored, her face losing some of its deathly pallor. More, Rastin urges. You're doing great. I push harder, drawing deeper from the artifact's power. The runes on my arm blaze with light, casting eerie shadows on the walls. Rastin grips Savannah's arm, his large hand enveloping her slender wrist. The room feels charged, the air thick with tension and raw power. My heart races as I channel my magic into her, the artifact on my arm pulsing in time with my frantic heartbeat. Focus, Rastin says, his voice a grounding anchor in the storm of emotions. Feel your connection. I close my eyes, reaching deep within myself. The warmth from the artifact spreads through my veins, a golden thread of energy linking us. I picture our bond, an unbreakable tether that defies death itself. I pour everything into that connection. Love, desperation, hope. The runes on the artifact blaze brighter, casting flickering shadows on the walls. Ronika's chanting weaves through the room like a soothing balm, guiding the flow of magic. The baby's soft cries blend with the rhythmic chants, a reminder of what's at stake. "Stay with me," I whisper, my voice cracking. "Please." Savannah's eyelids flutter, a hint of color returning to her cheeks. "More," Rastin urges. His grip on Savannah's arm wavers, and I glance at him. His red fur is matted with sweat, and the green of his eyes dulls. He looks like he's been through a battle. I feel a pang of guilt. He's giving his all to save her. "Rastin," I call out, my voice tight with worry. "Are you okay?" He nods weakly, but the strain in his face betrays him. "This is for Savannah," he manages to say, his voice barely a whisper. I force myself to look away from Rastin and back at Savannah. Her body remains still, too still. Panic claws at my chest, but I can't afford to lose control now. I tighten my grip on her hand, willing her to come back to me. "Please, Savannah," I whisper, my voice breaking. "Fight." The artifact pulses erratically now, as if sensing my desperation. I close my eyes again and draw deeper from its power, feeling the warmth spread through me like wildfire. My own strength begins to wane, but I push past the exhaustion. "Keep going," Rastin murmurs again, though his voice is fainter this time. Savannah's eyelids flutter once more but remain closed. Her breathing is still shallow and uneven. Doubt gnaws at me. What if it's not enough? What if I lose her? "Stay with me," I plead again, tears streaming down my face. "I can't do this without you." In a world of elves, demons, and liches.
What would you choose?
Power?
Or passion?
Would you stab the monster in the back?
Or take him to bed?
The Immersive Fantasy audiobook bundle has it all.
Go to worldsofprathika.com to get access.
Use code YouTube30 to get an additional 30% off.
Prathika's magic is eternal. Audio bundles will make it immersive. Chapter 76. Savannah. My surroundings shift, the dark river and cavernous walls of the guide's realm growing fainter. A strange tug pulls at my core, insistent and undeniable. "What's going on?" I ask, noticing the look on her face. "Savannah," the guide murmurs, her storm cloud grey face creasing with concern. "Something isn't right." "What do you mean?" My voice trembles as I grip the edges of my consciousness, afraid of losing this fleeting tether to life. The guide's eyes narrow, scanning some unseen horizon. "Your soul is trying to leave, but your essence is being anchored to the mortal realm by another force." Her tone sharpens. "It's ancient magic, Minotaur magic." My heart lurches. "Rastin?" She nods, the realization settling over her like a shroud. "Yes. Rastin has invoked an ancient ritual, transferring your soul into his own body." "But why?" My voice cracks with desperation. The guide's words swirl around me, heavy with a truth I'm not ready to accept. "To save you," she replies simply. "He's sacrificing himself to keep your essence tethered to the mortal realm." I blink back tears, a mix of sorrow and gratitude washing over me. "Can I stop him?" A soothing voice, like a whisper of the wind, cuts through my pain. The guide's presence envelops me, her storm cloud grey face materialising in the space between consciousness and oblivion. "You can't, but your child can," she begins, her tone both serene and commanding. "She senses your peril. Instinctively, She draws on her own magic. I strain to understand, every word feeling like a lifeline. What do you mean? The baby's power is flowing into Razdin's body, the guide continues, intertwining with your soul to save you both. I gasp as a new sensation washes over me, a gentle yet potent force mingling with my own magic. It feels like a warm embrace, tender and protective. Her magic is reversing the ritual, the guide explains, restoring the proper soul balance. I relish in the strange feeling flowing inside me, the knowledge that my sweet baby is already acting in part to save her mother. So there's a chance I will be returning and Razdin will be okay as well, I ask, almost willing her answer to be of good news. Razdin's essence will return to his rebuilt body, the guide adds softly, and yours will be healed. The words echo in my mind as I feel a surge of energy, not violent or painful, but soothing and revitalizing. My vision sharpens, colours becoming more vibrant as the agony ebbs away. The energy flows into me, warm and soothing, like sunlight seeping through the cracks of a long, cold night. Each pulse brings a gentle relief, washing away the searing pain that had consumed me. I can almost sense Julius's grip on my hand, steady and unwavering, his presence anchoring me as the magic weaves through my veins. As the energy continues to fill me, I swear I hear a faint cry. It's delicate and distant at first, almost like an echo. The yearning starts at my core, spreading outwards in a rhythmic dance. The agony fades, replaced by a sense of wholeness I hadn't realised I missed. My heartbeat aligns with the ebb and flow of this newfound power, each beat stronger than the last. As the energy continues to fill me, I swear I hear a faint cry. It's delicate and distant at first, almost like an echo. I scan the tavern, looking for any sight of a familiarity. What I wouldn't give to be able to see Julian's face, or our sweet baby. The guide's storm-cloud grey face softens, her dark navy eyes locking onto mine. It's time, Savannah. A shiver runs through me, a mix of anticipation and dread. Time for what exactly? To return, she says, her voice carrying a weight that presses down on my chest. Your place is in the mortal realm, with your family. My heart seems to beat erratically out of my chest. After everything we've been through, we've beat the odds. I get to return to Julius and our baby, and make many memories for days and years to come. Despite my happiness, I can't help my guilty conscience nags at me. But what about Razdin? I ask, my voice barely above a whisper. He will be all right, the guide assures me. His essence is returning to his body. You both will heal and flourish. The tug at my core intensifies, pulling me away from the cavernous walls and dark river of the guide's realm. My surroundings begin to blur, the edges of reality shifting and bending. The darkness grows, an inky blackness that seeps into every corner of my vision. Hold on, Savannah, the guide's voice echoes, becoming more distant. Trust in the magic, trust in your child. I try to respond, but my voice is swallowed by the encroaching void. The sensation of falling overwhelms me, weightless and disorienting. My consciousness frays at the edges, unravelling like a delicate thread in the wind. The blackness deepens, an endless expanse that stretches beyond comprehension. I struggle to hold on to any sense of self, but it slips through my fingers like sand. The last remnants of light flicker and fade, and I am left adrift in the abyss. A strange calm washes over me, a surrender to the inevitable. My thoughts scatter, memories dissolving into the void, faces, voices, moments, all swallowed by the consuming darkness. I am nothing and everything, a mere whisper in the void. Time loses meaning in this endless expanse. Seconds stretch into eternity, and I am suspended between moments. I am aware of nothing but the profound silence, a void that stretches on and on. And then, somewhere in the depths of the blackness, a flicker of light. It begins as a tiny pinprick, a distant star in the vast expanse. Slowly it grows, a beacon in the darkness, pulling me towards it. The light intensifies, warm and inviting. It fills me with a sense of peace, a promise of something beyond the void. I reach out, my essence drawn to its comforting glow. The light envelops me, a cocoon of warmth and safety. It pulses with a familiar rhythm, a heartbeat that resonates with my own. The darkness recedes, replaced by this radiant glow. I feel myself being pulled, drawn back towards consciousness. The light guides me, a gentle force leading me home. The blackness fades completely, replaced by a soft golden hue. And now I don't know where I'm going. Is this the end?